I mean, I would warm up my things.
I just got 2 notifications on my iPad. Let's see how many I get on my phone.
Ahem. Oh no, my freaking mic.
I got 3 notifications on my phone.
Wait, it's at 80? Why? I'm gonna have to lower the volume on my mic then for the stream. Alright, can you guys say something to...
Happy birthday.
Cheeseburger.
Nice. Anyways, hey everyone, how's it going? Wheatley here. I am joined by...
The Volcanicraft.
And me.
Ish.
And eventually, RPE Gaming as well. Yeah, someone just typed burger into the chat. You guys can probably see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Some random guy on the internet.
Alright.
Oh, we can always rely on some random guy on the internet barging in places.
And we are back with some more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last time we had just discovered that Vera Misham was the creator of the piece of forged evidence that caused Phoenix Wright to lose his attorney's badge 7 years ago. So...
Oh my god!
So now we are traveling back to that point. 7 years ago, Trial Former.
Alright.
Shows
Will I just be any female that comes up?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all good, it's all good.
I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time. And only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I've found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met. 7 years ago. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's final trial.
Okay, so for this sort of like sequence, how many characters are there going to be?
Quite a few new ones, if I remember correctly. I don't know. This onward is more than I've played. I haven't played anything beyond this, so this is new for me as well.
Okay. Can I be the judge in these 7-year back experiences?
No! I have to do this voice for the judge!
Okay. I'll just take the first new male one available.
Okay. You can be Gumshoe, though, because he shows up.
Oh yes, the emotionally scarred detective.
Yeah.
I'll be any female.
Okay. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Also, they're using the old music instead of the new music. Whatever, you guys can't hear it. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. I'm using Apollo's voice, I shouldn't be. Gotta try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigmar. Oh, that's... Do you want to be him?
Sure. Wait, Elliot. Oh.
He said he didn't want to voice act.
Okay, so...
Actually, can I be him since I was already voicing him in the cutscene?
Yeah, you might as well.
I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards, and that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me.
That's me, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That is you.
Ooh, morning, Daddy!
Ah, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
Ha 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 ha! I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Oh yeah. Thanks, my first show today. And it's still loading. Oh, whatever.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Ooh, old boy!
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Here.
It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. Or at last only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifique Grammary.
I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. I'll give it a read later. I already read it. Notebook page added to the court record. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. We know it's forged evidence. That's so obvious that that was forged. An easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it's a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep talk speech. I'll do what I can. Ha 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 ha! I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
I can't. Yep, you bet, Daddy!
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I'm in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. Ah, ha, 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 ha. My client is Shaddy Enigmar.
That's kind of scary.
Known to the world as Zach Grammary. A wildly popular magician, star of Troupe Grammary, his mentor, Magnifique Grammary, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead. Insert magic joke.mp4. And Zach Grammary is the suspect. April 19th, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. It was defendant lobby number 2 and it's courtroom number 7. Okay.
Why? Because I do things how I want them to be.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shaddy Enigmar. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is there some new kind of crime? One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms, the pounding hearts? A Governor's concert got 10 times the theater this gig's got. Oh, who are you again? Clavia Gavin. I came to get the party started, legally, yeah?
Oh my gosh.
Gavin, defense attorney Christoph Gavins. Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavia Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to be compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up, Attorney Wright. Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on the case? Actun, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes. Detective Gumshoe. Hit it.
Okay.
And you are?
Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down in the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see.
Hey, you!
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today, I win, you lose. I got confidence in my testimony, see?
What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony? Air detective, this is my stage. Candy antics.
Huh?
All this hey you-ing and such. And I could care less about your history together. I said that completely wrong. I should be saying I couldn't care less, because Wheatley has this pet peeve for some reason. But whatever. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 days back. In a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. Victim was a patient, asleep in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and then bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Not so long ago, the victim Magnifi Grammary was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. I know what heir means. Though I'm pretty sure it meant mister. I thought it did. Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare. Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammary has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, the retired Magnifi has been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mall ignorant tutor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
A malignant tumor, perhaps? In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
At best.
The facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Sorry, I'm changing. I'm trying to get zero down on one, but incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with the pistol, the syringe was found at this crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Witness testimony.
The circumstances.
Actually, the victim kinda ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. That is so grammatically incorrect, it's not even funny. No doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
Okay.
What?
Elliot's back.
What?
You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting? Those are the facts. I have here the letter in question. Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause someone to pull a trigger, I wonder? I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of this letter. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, Even the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Herr Attorney. Well, was there some reason? As it turns out, there was. Every night, for a half hour, starting at 11 o'clock. The victim, Magda Gregory, was given an IV. An IV. There it is in the picture, off to the side of the bed. At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night, without fail. That was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV. Very well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination if you want. What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Alright. I'm completely flying blind right now. I have no idea.
Alright.
Alright. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. Wait, hang on. Nope, that's not what I want. Photos what I want. Let's check this. Alright.
I don't really have context.
Is the murder weapon not in the freaking court record? Hang on. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene. Noted
Press.
about it. Yeah, I'm pressing here.
Yeah, press.
You mean this pistol, the one in the crime scene photo? That's... Sorry.
That's the one. It's a funny-looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with a bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match. So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words?
You bet we did. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man. Press.
I mean, I don't...
Are you sure?
I don't doubt that. Why are you so certain?
What pile of sand has your head been stuck?
Also, hang on.
Has your head been stuck in all this time, pal?
Some random guy on the internet, maybe later, but I want to try and figure this out by myself first.
Yeah. Or at least by ourselves. You never heard of Zach and Valance quick draw shoot 'em?
Huh? What's that?
One of the defendant's specialties. Zach and Valance stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. This was one of the pistols they used in their shows. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Why would a pistol be in a hospital? That just doesn't make any sense. Especially loaded too.
Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Troop Grammary stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
The court would like to see the pistol in Finally.
You got it, sir. Here she is.
It's a female.
Well, this truly is a blast from the past.
No.
It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see?
So does it not actually work
But it
as a
can fire
real?
real bullets.
Yeah, answer my question. Okay.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So, were any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is in fact a fingerprint of its own. Aha! Intriguing point. Well made. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not well made. Not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. Nice.
Alright, inspect the stage pistol.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, that doesn't really prove, just because of a lack of a fingerprint, that doesn't really prove much.
Anyone can wear gloves.
And, like, enhance it, though.
My controller's not working. I may have to restart the game here.
Why would it be loaded with real bullets? Like, where did he get the actual
Also,
bullets?
Alex, remember what happened the last time we tried inspecting a gun?
Yep.
If you look closely, you can see how the pistol's made to bend here. It's a one-shot only model, and I guess this bend is where you load it. So, this is the famous Grammary golden gun. They say kids
Break action. Sorry.
So, not like not like the freaking. I was trying to make a GoldenEye joke. Whatever.
It's a golden gun, but they're not a guardian yet.
Yeah. They say kids used to love pretending that they had one of these. I wonder if they pretended to miss their targets too.
All right.
Wait, does that mean does that mean they actually hit their target?
By the way, Liam, so with the actions call, oh my god, that's weird.
I think it's
The
just
actions call when it has a break like that, it's called a break action.
Ah.
I think
Might as well just add a little fact. So I
think they would pretend to miss their targets
Make it
because they're
educational,
children.
so we can get some good ad revenue on here.
They're children and they can't actually get real bullets.
Ah.
So.
No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Pew 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 pew. Okay, judge.
My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But
You
now
get a
it's
kick
time
out
to
shooting
return.
it.
But now it's time to return to our testimony. I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Wait, hang on. Fires. Wait. I wish
fires
there
one
was a
bullet.
way to tell how many times it had been fired. Then again, it only fires one shot.
Actually,
Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man before it. A bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sure. I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be our... Okay, we already read this.
read the letter again.
Hang on, I want to press on everything first.
Hold it.
Just because he got the letter doesn't mean it went through with it. Hang on. Yeah, I'll read this. To my beloved student Zach, to you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnifigrammary.
Oh. Okay, so that's okay, now that makes
Da. Just vokag Salif Kamel. Or however you say that.
English only in the chat. How many times do I have to say that to you, David?
You know, hablo mucho español.
Okay.
Malignant tumor in liver has progressed to final stage with no hope of recovery. Patient has 3 months to live. Patient has chronic diabetes. Requires regular insulin.
I mean, at that point, you can't really, like, say, wow. Why would he do that to himself?
Oh, I disagree.
So that he wouldn't have to suffer dying with cancer.
The victim was, indeed, shot in the forehead, after all, just as he had commanded. Could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change.
Thanks, pal.
Fine, I can play it slow, as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gamshu. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder.
Press.
And this letter was sent by the victim.
There it is. Gotcha. Oh my.
Gotcha!
Pal. Gotcha!
Gotta catch them all.
There's a contradiction. I'll get to you in a moment. I wish there was a way for me to shorten your name. Some random guy on the internet. Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course. It's the victims. No mistake.
Ah, I see.
Score one for the boys.
I didn't lose. I was just asserting the fact. So why am I so annoyed?
Probably because of the voice I did for
A
that.
letter ordering your own death? Oh, Jason. Okay. Before we continue, I'm gonna actually restart the game.
Alright, as long as there's
For the-
Jason in.
For the sake of getting my controller to work.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm gonna exit the voice chat, and then actually, I'm gonna leave it. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave the call. Be right back.
Alright.
Alright. So, since we have Jason. Alright, take a look at Jason. Now to your left. Now back at Jason. To your left. Now there's cheese.
Wait, what?
Alright. Things aren't what they used to be, I guess. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor.
So anyway, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead.
Whoa.
The defendant did what was asked of him and shot the old man in the forehead.
He looks mad.
Hold it!
How can you be so sure?
Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking.
You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, Detective.
First, we got this letter. It says, shoot. Oh, there it is. In the forehead. Loud and clear.
I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it.
Well, maybe you need to grow back yourself a backbone, pal.
And go shoot someone in the forehead. No, okay. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, Detective. I called it!
I'm sorry.
We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
What, Elliot?
How can Detective Gunshoe like find pride in shooting people? Like, is the police force really that corrupt?
For Detective Gumshoe, more like Detective Gunshoe.
Jokes.
Traces of gunpowder residue show that it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright, as far as I can see from looking at that photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. Yeah, yes there is. The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use.
Why is the clown shot in the head?
I see you noticed.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we needed to notice.
I noticed like the first time, like I looked at the picture, I'm like, that makes no sense.
So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar, I have no clue, didn't pull the trigger or shot something else.
Yeah, the clown. Why does the clown have a hole in its forehead?
Yeah.
Hey, why does the clown have a hole in its forehead?
I'm glad we're all noticing this.
Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes?
Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead.
Objection. Oh?
Nope.
The defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make. What? And you can prove that with this photo?
Exactly.
I can prove he had a choice, yes. The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead? Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot? I'll just... He shot this thing. A clown doll? Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead too. Ah! There's a hole in its forehead! Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. And I suppose you have a reason as to why he would shoot the clown doll? He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead. His forehead! Ah! Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead, which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead. It definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff!
Suck it up.
Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
I'll be the bailiff if he actually shows up.
I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead, as was ordered, but the letter said nothing about whose forehead. It was Air Forehead's forehead! No, I'm kidding. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life. The bullet hole in this clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get.
Yeah.
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony. Okay, so what if he had shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
Wait, no. So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal.
It's a single.
No, he can't. It only has 1 shot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Fires 1 real bullet.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all it did.
Thanks. I actually didn't think about that. Thanks, you guys. The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand?
Yeah. Well, like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and... Objection!
Because we're smart people.
Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. A murder weapon? How? It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds 1 bullet at a time.
Yeah. Suck it up,
If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too. Oh, it's the original objection music!
I can't hear any music, but I'm sure it's on.
Hey, I'm Gumshoe.
That's not a contradiction. Not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Objection!
Oh, where did you get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started.
I bet it is.
I preferred you with long hair, Clavier. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales.
Oh, gosh.
An utter lack of humility.
Yeah.
What's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, a detective was just a bona fact. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Ready for what? For my decisive witness, of course. What is that noise in the background? That, yes, that, right there.
Sorry. Okay, what's going on?
A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That's it for Zach Cranberry, who shot the victim in the forehead. Very well. I mean, very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned! Get out of here!
Quick thing.
Yeah.
To be continued. Is the new witness a male or female?
I have no idea. I haven't gotten this far.
Fair enough. I'll be male if... I'll be it if it's male.
Alright.
Also, may I say, like, the Clavier reminds me a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, when he, like, pounds his fist back, it reminds me of him, like, taking a draw, and just how he's talking, dude. It just reminds me a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's time to... do.
Now
I
you.
draw
You know
my
what?
card!
You know what? Because of that, this is what I'm gonna say at the first episode of Phoenix Wright 5. It's time to duel destinies!
Also, like, you know,
Alright,
like the chain on
now-
his neck? That could be, like, if you price that with a pyramid, that's, like, totally you, man.
Okay, now Liam, when you go into talk, calm. When you start to stutter, calm down and take it slow. It's time to duel destinies. Very good. Sorry.
Duel destiny. No, whatever. April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. I wish I'd come up with that joke, but I didn't. Sorry, Jason. Okay. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less. We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually. I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know? I think you need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened? Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy. Speaking of which, where is she? You have seen the problem yourself. The letter. The one shot in the forehead. One, right? Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death. Why not? This is something I will not say, for now at least. What's this for now business? I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly, but this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves. We? You want to know about the night of the incident? Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
Someone took a pistol.
Yes, the one I used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valent. Oh, for the Zack and Valent quick draw thing. My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then, I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment. You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him? Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first. So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before? To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy. Was McAfee coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammary? Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown! I took the pistol that I fired and placed it in my pocket. In your pocket? I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those calls? Right? Rifling marks. Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case. Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me? Ha 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 ha! You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright. Thanks? Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened. What? Magnific Grammary? The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so. Oh, so he'd already shot the clown. What'd you talk about? Ha ha ha! Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case. Zack Grammary, he seems pretty steadfast to me. Or maybe just stubborn.
Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom. Once again, I'm in your hands.
Right, let's get back in there.
I cannot wait to see this witness, though. April 19th, 11:37
Yeah,
a.m.
this game
District Court, courtroom number 7.
This game has had some weird witnesses.
Maybe I can do the next to be continued.
Yeah.
If I'm just going to say something on the record.
Oh God! Don't bring him back. Court is now back in session! That's the same bullet sprite as was found in the previous case. No, in the second case actually. That's the same sprite.
It doesn't matter.
Don't
What
Shut up. During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head. Well, this is new. Well, this is news. And the rifling marks? There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, so they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon. Well, that's not very conclusive, is it? Which is why I'm about to call it my very decisive witness. Your decisive witness. How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think. Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production, being the other half of Tube Grammary's famous duo, Zack and Valent.
I was about to guess.
Valent Grammary. So we get to meet the great Magnify's other disciple.
Oh, I don't get to do anything here. This is only in voice.
Perhaps we start by asking your name and occupation. Valent Grammary, magician. And you're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student, your partner's guilt? Fate. The grand illusion filled with traps and tricks. Wait, the shooting took place in the hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late? If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes!
I bet he shot him.
Okay. We know he didn't because we see him later in the future.
Shoot.
I always get the characters, don't I? I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this. That looks very familiar. Wait, that's the same letter Zack Grammary received. Yes, or perhaps I should say, ta-da! He has long hair. Order, order, order! And what does it say? Surely not the same thing. Perhaps you should see for yourself. My beloved student Valent says the exact same thing.
But at 11:20 p.m.
You cannot refuse.
Yeah.
Come on the 13th, 11:20 p.m. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Magnify Grammary. The court accepts this into evidence. Magnify's letter 2 added to the court record. This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your troop Grammary up to? By which you mean, I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him! Both of them, no less. It's just my opinion, Air Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zack Grammary, stands accused. Tell us why. Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
End quote.
Oh my god. Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene. In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time! Ha 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 ha. As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up.
Witness testimony.
That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnify requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final blow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instruction. Yet, a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police. Oh, fuck you. So you were the one who reported the crime. Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions. Hey, Phoenix reported the crime, and he was still the defendant in the first case of this game. Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusion in this court. But, if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zack Grammary, is guilty! Guilty! And if it isn't, then
Guilty.
and if it wasn't Zach Gregory, then the killer was you, Valent. And no disappearing act will get you out of that. To see him without a mustache is really strange. He usually has a mustache. The night I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifi requested, the smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final blow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions, yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown.
I would like to say, it's final bow. There's no L.
What? Where?
Back it said, my mentor had taken his final bow,
Oh.
not
Oh.
blow.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna press everything. Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m.? Indeed! In magic, timing is everything! Part of me just wants to scream out, "Injustice we trust!" But I'll wait until the next game.
Injustice!
Right. Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic.
You just did.
Yeah. Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. You went at the designated time, and what did you see? I love how he just doesn't care that he just said that.
What if there's a stunt double in all this? I highly doubt there is, but you never know.
What if this Valent is just a stunt double, and a real one comes in with a mustache?
What if the stunt double killed the person?
What if the old man was a
So
stunt
many what
double?
ifs. So many what ifs. Let's just play the
What
game.
if the clown was a stunt double?
Let's just play
Of
the
the real
game.
clown.
What if he was a Spee? Whatever. Let's play. So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good
Okay.
Have a
Well,
good
how are you supposed to come up with your magic tricks, then, my friend?
It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? See, exactly. How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. No, you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. What if he sold his soul to the devil for killing his mentor? I'm pretty sure that's what, spoiler alert, did. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say.
The medic would do.
If you know what I'm talking about, Jason, do not say the name of the person. Whatever. Which brings us back to the reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner, he did not refuse. But Magnifi wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zack couldn't? Because I have a will of steel, of course. I also did this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all that strong. So which is it? Mind if I continue? He spins his...
Did you press this one yet?
Yet a deal with dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. There were 2 bullet holes at the scene. One in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zack has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I turn up. Mr. Valent, let me ask you about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely... Alright. Save state first. because I'm a little cheater.
No, the number of pistols.
How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zack and Val quick draw shoot-'em, correct? 1 for each. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat at the hospital room that night. What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time and found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket. Oh, doy. We already knew that.
So yeah, if we can try to press him the tell how many pistols he saw, then we can tell who shot the clown first.
We know he's telling the truth there.
The bullet. The pistol.
The bullet and pistol, okay. In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet? I entered the room and took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see. Prepared for? One never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 doves in his pocket, a white rabbit up each sleeve. Clearly, we're dealing with professionals here. Is this bullet that was loaded into the pistol really so important? So should we have it added to the testimony? Is what he's basically saying. Is there anything wrong with this statement? Because if not, we need to look at something else.
If not, it's the location.
You know what? We'll try that. Location of the pistol. Where exactly was the pistol when you entered the room? Atop a small bedside table it was. As if to say, here I am, take me into your hand, pull my trigger, shoot him. The victim clearly wanted to be shot. But why? Perhaps he wanted to go out with a bang. Yet we will never hear the truth from his lips. So all we can do is go. Where's Maya? Is the location of the pistol all that important? Bedside table. Hang on. Okay, there's nothing specific about the gun's location in the,
Okay, go back to the load state.
You know, maybe it is the number of pistols.
It should be.
It should be because it
How many
was
pistols
it
were
was
there when you
mentioned that
entered
there
the
was
room?
2.
By which you mean what precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zack and Val quick draw shoot 'em, correct? 1 for each one of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital. I am so monotonous right now. What is that? Kill me back in the lobby. It's not gonna let me skip this.
2 pistols.
I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph of the crime scene, after all. So you picked up the pistol and fired it. Indeed I did. Indeed I did. Alakazam! Alakazing! Alakaboom! Is the number of pistols really so important?
Quite important.
The number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. Why did I use a German there? What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in the hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown.
Read the notebook page.
This is this forged evidence, remember?
Yep. Seems fading.
Oh, you want to actually read it?
Yes.
Sorry.
Seems fate that will make me wait a
Fate's
long.
clock. Yeah.
At least less than 10 swift minutes to all those others we let us work on. I give thanks for farewell.
Use the note at the end, okay. Wait, right now or at the
This
end?
isn't the end. This isn't the end. What the thing is, if a bullet, if he had already been shot, how could you take the same gun and fire it at the clown? Present the
We
stage
know
pistol.
what. We know why though.
But that is a clear contradiction.
Ah, you're right. According to the defendant, Zach Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on the table. 2! One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Then he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defender had some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valent had told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story. Mr. Valent, recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullet were a perfect match.
Red-handed. Or I should say
Mr.
white-gloved.
Valent, Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order! 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 Wow, this is all rather sudden. Objection!
Objection!
Objection! What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin, I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? Why am I using the judge's voice here? Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proves the type of gun that fired. But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? That was just this morning. I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Valent Gramery. Yes, Your Honor. You were presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you proved to be more divisive than decisive.
Objection!
You'll
I
see
draw.
in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. The proof comes next. Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin? When Mr. Valent entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove. Right, the real fight is about to begin. Bring it. Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what. Witness testimony. Who shot what? I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation. They called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Those times are rather close, you have to admit. We're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. To use a 10-minute discrepancy as a basis of your alibi is easy to explain in this situation, Judge. For example, take our debut hit single, 13 Years Hot Time for Love. Cue to this song, press the play button, and it will play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times, and the result is the same. Your debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. What a ripoff. Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus Pocus requires admirable focus. Clever.
Oh,
And in the
God.
time of death determined by the doctor there, it is and in the time of death determined by the doctor there is an uncontrovertible.
Okay, before you continue, court record. Go to the medical analysis. Nothing is stated as to the time of death. Dang. We need that as evidence before he can just say that.
Very well. The prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times. and we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision. I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands. Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty! Carry on, Mr. Wright. Carry on, Wright.
Who shot what? Cross-examination.
I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. Did the doctor say anything concerning the cause of death? Why, yes, I believe he screamed, "My God, he's been shot in the head!" It doesn't take a doctor to notice that. I believe I would have said much the same thing. And I would have penned the requiem that arose in my soul at that horrid sight. Whatever happened to a good old-fashioned investigation? In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, attorney. May I remind you that baseless remarks warrant penalties. Proceed with that in mind. Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be. Alright, yet he was quite clear about the time of death. 11:10 p.m. Hang on. 11:10 p.m. I wanna look at this. At least only only less than 10 swift minutes. No, that doesn't prove anything. Yeah, let's press on that. I don't think I'm stepping out of a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time? We do usually only get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death. Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction. I see another person has done their arithmetic homework. The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible on the photograph of the scene. Ah, okay. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim, Magnifigrammy's schedule. Every night at 11 o'clock, Magnifi took an IV drip for 30 minutes. I can see the IV bag all right there, yes. Now look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the back to the end. Ah. The needle's been removed! Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot. That would seem to be the case. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah, you just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. The IV liquid functions for one purpose, as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. And so it was when I, Valent, entered the room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof. Well, Mr. Wright. Did that seem important? Yes. Well, seeing as how it's the biggest clue we've had to the time of death, I'd say it's very important. Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic. Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony. Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth.
Okay. The more precise way. Get the DeLorean.
But honestly, even if we didn't see Grammar or Valent later on, I don't think he did it.
What if when he shot the clown, forgot your defense name. When he shot the clown, it shocked him and he took out the IV. And so it was 10 minutes after the scene. But he was shot by his other... Yeah, it was shot by who's up there right now in the yellow cloak, the yellow hat.
I don't think he did it. I don't think this guy did it.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe someone else.
I actually, even if we didn't see him later on, I truly think it's someone else. Alright.
Because we can't roll
The
that
water
out
of life
the
springs,
equation.
not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. I'm going to save here.
Does anyone else have a grudge against that old man?
Nothing we would know about.
Nina's muted. Okay.
What?
You were muted.
I know.
Okay, I didn't realize. That explains why you were so silent.
Yeah. Well, anytime I moved, it would make a noise, so I just muted myself so you wouldn't hear the noise and I could still move.
Wait a second. Insulin. What time was it administered? Insulin.
11 p.m.
Yeah, it was 11 p.m. IV report. IV stopped 10 minutes after administration began. Check button. We know it was started at 11. We know it was started at 11. So 11:10. Estimated time of death 11 o'clock to 11:30. Okay.
Oh. We actually did have the autopsy. Or not like the actual.
Loss of blood from bullet wound. So nothing about damage to the brain in there.
Yeah, that's quite suspicious. I think they would mention that. Like he would have whatever. I can't remember the name of it.
Used for administering
Stroke.
Insulin shots. Okay. Magnitude letter 1. Telling Zach to come at 11:05 p.m. I'm not sure what to present here, guys.
Hey, Jason.
Let's look at the
Or if,
have you pressed everything?
If I should present here, Jason, what do you got? Sorry, what? What'd you say?
Have you pressed everything?
We got to the decisive point.
You know, fine. I'll press on everything else. You entered the
Well,
hospital
we're also
room
waiting
at
for
11:20
Jason the
p.m.
answer.
The time given by the defendant, Zach Gramery, was 11:05 p.m. You didn't run into him at the hospital that night? Present or press? That doesn't really help me. This is why I never perform with amateurs, you see. Huh? Picture, if you will, the nighttime hospital. Outsiders. Outside, only the pale light of the moon. If two dressed as we were to meet in such circumstances, I dare say that would ruin the mood completely. The mood isn't in question here. I believe the witness is saying they didn't meet, yeah? For what is magic if not the study of beauty? Us meeting was not only out of the question, it was an impossibility. For what is magic if not the study of how to make absolutely no sense at all? Present what? That said, was there a contradiction in there? Ooh, okay. We have options here, and it involves penalties, so I'm gonna save.
They're saying that there was no chance that they could have met. So he would have
If the death
done.
happened at 11:10, and
he
Valent
came at 11:12.
and Valent got there at 11:20.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that they couldn't have met, and possible
It's
that they
possible.
could.
Yeah, because 10-minute frame.
I mean, I'll try. There's a contradiction, but I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere with it. The only problem I see here is the glaring contradiction in that testimony.
Yep, it's not working.
Was that a question? I guess it was. You have been warned, Airlight. Baseless remarks would be penalized. Well put, Prosecutor Gavin. Oh, and Mr. Wright, here's my answer to your question. Wow, we didn't even have an opportunity to present evidence. Not a problem.
Not a problem.
Alright. I don't see any problem with that testimony. If you say so. If you say so. Let's continue, shall we? Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. A matter of minutes. Precise is right. And pressing with impunity will earn me a nice penalty too. Better focus on one thing: the time of death. Alright. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation. They then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death. 11:10 p.m. Part of me wants to present the note now. Notebook page now, because the, okay.
You accidentally pressed that.
No. I thought it might have worked.
Press everything on the one locked.
Not by over a matter of minutes, precise is right. And pressing with impunity will earn me a nice penalty too. Better focus on one thing, this time of death. Right. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance? When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my master's forehead, and then his left arm did I spy, a rose, drooping and wilted. In its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of this shot, luckily for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I've never seen that word spelled out. Or written out.
You said it too fast, though.
I might say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. For it's always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was. What does that remind me of? Oh wait, I can't say it because in our Let's Plays we haven't gotten to that yet. There's one trip down memory lane no one needs. Ah, he even notices it too! My lucky color, yes indeed, and that IV too. I think 'twas hued especially for me, Valent. Ha 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 ha! That does seem to be the case indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony? Valent sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony?
Well,
I don't
files.
think I have absolutely no problem with it, but we might as well check.
Might as well.
That's green, not yellow. And he has no green on him. And he said that the IV was specifically made for him. For his lucky color. You know?
I don't think he was saying that the IV was his luck. The IV fluid was his color. I think it was because, you know, he was wearing that color. That because he was wearing that color, he was lucky not to get arrested. But you said there was a contradiction, so I guess it could. It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck, but not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky color betrayed you. I'm afraid you've lost me. Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. Very well, let's hear the defense's claims. Thankfully, it's only a single penalty. Where's your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valent has told us? Huh. I did not think this through all that well.
It could be the.
I mean, it could be the photo.
I mean, let's make a quick save state just to make
Let's
sure.
make save state.
Yeah.
Save state 3.
Save state 3. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. F3.
Crime photo. The crime scene tells all, Your Honor. The photo of the crime scene? All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure, and I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. Okay, single penalty again. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony?
The green IV bag, clearly.
I agree with the
Let's go with
IV color, IV fluid.
Oh my god. Was that true? Oh my god. This is the stupidest thing ever.
Alex, you're right. Nice catch,
My
man.
god.
I didn't think I was right.
I was gonna
Valid
say
grammar.
something, but I was muted.
Valid grammar. Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes! Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo in the crime scene.
Wow.
What's this? Confusion. Doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy? Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valet. Look at the IV bag. Why are people making... There is no reason. Why are people making such a big deal out of this?
Because the person said the IV that it was colored especially for me, my lucky color.
Ah.
So
Whatever. Vigilante 100. How's it going? Welcome to the stream.
We have a sweaty-looking man on
Yeah.
screen.
What is this? What foul magic?
You are here because you have chosen to be here, Vigilante.
It would be hard to call this IV liquid yellow, and I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. Alakaz... No! Alaka, no! I should say.
Okay, that was too
I
many.
wonder. Like,
Order,
was that
order,
6
order.
stuffs?
What does this mean?
Objection!
This is some kind of mistake. Why is it playing the cheerful Troop Gramarye music in the background? Whatever. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. Your witness's mistake? The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valid Gramarye, as you've reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well, the contradiction can mean only one thing.
Objection!
Objection! And to think you almost had me. I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright as my sick beats come on. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree at a glance. The yellow and blue. The bag's blue. Oh my gosh. But I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow.
But wait, how would the guy know unless he saw the liquid out of the bag?
True. Oh! Oh! That makes so much... I just figured it out. Oh my gosh. If it doesn't end up going here, I'm gonna be so mad.
What do you think?
The bag is blue, yes. The tube is not. He saw it in the tube, and it was yellow. So, that means that the IV must have been flowing while he was there.
Exactly. Oh, wow.
Oh man, when you figure something out like that, it just feels so good. Anyways, yellow liquid, how can you say that? As far as I can tell from the photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? It looks like I want to say light blue. Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but You've just proven something rather grave for you, that is. Please tell me I was right.
He's
Right?
going to
He's
say
right.
Great.
You're right, man.
The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did the witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Ah! Ugh.
He knows.
Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Oh yeah. Alakazam MG!
2, 3, 4. That's 4 of them.
Or is it 2 others?
Order! 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 Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once! The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid is yellow because... I think it's because it looked yellow.
I think that too.
Yeah, just make sure, because you know what it is.
There was a reason the IV liquid looked yellow to the witness. I bet. Or Mr. Wright, that I bet at the end there, it worries me. Am I right in the assumption that you hope there's a reason? Not no? Perhaps, yes, definitely. Oh my god, I was wrong. Allow me to crush that hope as gentle and gentlemanly as I can. Shut up? Why is there a shut up button on this movie?
Okay, I've never seen that.
He knew the IV liquid's color. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag. No, he didn't!
He saw it in the tube.
Yeah. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this all means. Maybe I got this completely wrong. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at he was an employee? No, he's just saying that. He's just saying that. That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. Objection! I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah?
Objection!
The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know! An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right, right? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body, at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Objection! Let me get this straight, Airlight. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid is yellow. Now wait! Wait! I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? He has a point, amateurs. I, at least, would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to the IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valiant Grammary, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was clearly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was...
The syringe.
Is there... Yeah, the syringe would do it, you're right.
The victim's syringe? It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick, and easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer these insulin shots. Objection! Injection! There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Grammary, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock, one that you can manipulate at will. Alakazam!
Okay, that joke is kind of old, Jason.
I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in the bag, the time of death cannot be proven, and that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much-needed investigation work. I see that there are no objections towards it.
Objection!
Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you in a way you've never ever expected. You see, how exactly, with the glitchy musics that I have to pause the game in order to fix, it didn't fix itself. I will have to do this. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the levels of the IV liquid, but there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was the witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit, after all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. Oh, this is the part. This is the part with the forgery. Alright. What's this? This is the victim Magnifi-Grammari's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seemed. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end quite appropriately with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 o'clock p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's IV is missing. Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. The journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. I can't read anything after that. All that's left to mine is something. Of course, substance evidence. Magnifi's diary added to Curry. Read the very last part with particular care. All that's... This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Grammarly. God, this freaking glitchy as heck music. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all. But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here, or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifi-Grammarly intended to write again. That is, if Zach Grammarly didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends.
It does go on because the page is ripped out.
Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Grammarly.
That the Prosecutor Gavin's actually dumb?
Order, 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 Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnifi-Grammarly wrote this? There's no mistaking his handwriting. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifi did intend to continue his diary. Yet, if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Grammarly. Well, how do you like me now, Airlight? Still too green for your tastes? He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking, but put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. Show evidence!
Save state. I'm going to say present the diary first and then the page.
No, it's absolutely the page.
You can present the diary, see that there's a ripped out page. There's no way.
They're not going to do that. I'm left with no choice but to show evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary? It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. He knows. Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think of showing us the diary I've just shown the court. See?
Oh.
Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving the diary didn't end with this page is... this thing! First, take a close look at the diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Alaka, I don't believe it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Grammar. That's the defense's proposition. Wait! Let me see that! What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary! And here comes and here comes the bad part. Now, note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page of Magnifique's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Heir Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Gramery left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Val Gramery! No! No! The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is without a doubt the genuine article. Order, order, order! But wait, that's impossible! The old man couldn't have written that! Objection! Okay, here it comes.
Objection!
Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Heir Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Heir Judge? Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. But, Prosecutor Gavin, the evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if we put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring the surprise witness to the courtroom. I already know it's going to be... I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Yep. True mission.
Cannot be true.
Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. A judiciary deal? The details of his testimony might have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain that information to this rule. Very well. And you are the witness, I gather?
Yes. Yes, sir.
State your name and occupation for the court.
My name's Drew Mission. I'm painter.
Painter? And are you somehow related to this case?
No. Well, not per se.
I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Isham, was it? Do you know what this is?
Oh, yeah. I know it well.
How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it.
You... what? You made it?
Yes. You might call it one of my works.
The Regional Prosecutor's Office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramarye. Illegal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is a fake. Prepared by a certain defense attorney. Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence! Objection! Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. But what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented us this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright. Witness, Mr. Misham was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
That I don't know.
What?
Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them.
But there's no proof this is a fake.
It's a fake.
Huh?
To avoid just this sort of problem, I was put a special mark on my works. I can say, without a doubt, this is mine.
Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court! It was careless of me. That's all I can say. Nina.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright. Yes? Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime, and presenting it in court, a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal, too, perhaps for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime. You cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. I see no need for further discussion on the matter. Special witness dismissed.
That was kind of douchey, honestly. Mr. Attorney,
Where's his mark?
Yes?
could I ask your name?
Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must... Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack? There's one thing I wish to make clear today in this courtroom. You cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist? Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? I am talking about this. Mr. Enigma! The defendant escaped. Fight him, quick! Right, look! Close all exits from the building! On the double, he must not be allowed to escape! That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shaddy Enigmar, aka Zack Gramery, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is the Gramery miracle. Ha 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 ha. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial of magician Zack Gramery vanished, along with him, for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however, but not until 7 years later. Okay.
This is your part, Elliot.
Okay. Oh, I missed it. Well, shoot.
Say it anyways.
Okay. To be continued!
That trial 7 years ago was the beginning
That's the voice
of it
I wanted
all.
to use.
This I know beyond a
waiting.
doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the present, but you'll soon be finding all this out for yourself. Which of Magnifique Gramery's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant, Zack Gramery, go? What dark truth lurked behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system. The introduction of the Mason system is now. The past.
The little girl is so cute.
The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. That terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half-finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There is something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to switch between past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago, in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. I'd heard about this, but I haven't experienced it yet. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Detention center 7 years ago.
The nightmare trial was over, and the new nightmare of figuring out what had happened had just begun. I wanted to wake up, to walk away, but I figured I'm the only one who could do this, probably. And besides, I had plenty of time. Thanks to the Bar Association's review board's decision. It's hard to work when your attorney's badge has been taken away. 7 years ago, detention center, visitor's room. What strange sight doth mine eyes behold? Excuse me. 2 men on either side of a single transparent pane. Yet it seems fickle fate has switched sides, so to speak. The forger of fakes walks freely, while the innocent languishes within these plexiglass confines. There's been no proof that I forged anything. No proof that I took the life of my dear mentor. Yet, these chains cannot hold me for long. The stage awaits, and what, may I ask, awaits you? A little piano in a cold little hole in the wall. But since you are here, what shall we discuss? The shooting of Magnifique Gramarye, for one. Who pulled the trigger, Valent or his partner, Zach? His partner vanished before the answer could be found. If I'm going to get any closer to the truth, this is the place to start. I have to hand it to my partner. He knows how to make an exit. That's talent. Yes, he made my attorney's badge disappear, and he never even touched it. Glory's spotlight always leaves someone weeping in the shadows, yet his very disappearance is itself a revelation. Revealing what? Zach Gramarye killed Magnifique. It's as good as a signed confession. That's certainly been public's opinion on it. I grow tired of my cage, and the time my release is near, I must go and prepare. Planning on jumping back into the magic right away? As long as an audience waits with bated breath, there will be Valent. And also, yes, now that my partner has disappeared, Magnifique's repertoire is mine. Valent Gramarye has a tradition to uphold. Is that true? Seen in this light, the trial was quite good to me, verdict or no. And you can't pay for that kind of publicity. The suspicion on you hasn't lifted entirely, Valent. After all, you received one of those letters, too. You were just as obligated to follow Magnifique's instructions as your partner. So I was, but only Zach Gramarye followed them. Let us not speak any more of who shot what, now that my partner has vanished. The question is moot. I'm more interested in learning something else, actually. What might that be? I want to know what Magnifique had up his sleeve. How could he coerce you and your partner to kill him? The trick up his sleeve? Ah ha 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 ha! Perhaps you do not know. Know what? A great magician never reveals his secrets. Yes! Wow, that's a lot of them! I didn't think it would be that easy. The audience must remain forever in the audience, bathing in the reflected glow of the spotlight. My Magatama, one of my most prized possessions which I got during a certain case. It can show me the locks of people's hearts, and if I can unlock their hearts, they'll tell me the secrets. The Magatama starts it all, and the Magatama ends it all. Yes, let's do it! Well, that's new. The trick up his sleeve. Time to break some psyche locks. I'm flying on by the seat of my pants on this one. There must be a path leading from the evidence to the truth, and that's what I'm going to find. To ask someone to take a life, even one not long for this world, that's asking someone to commit murder. Yes, our mentor was fond of dramatic moves and dramatic finales. And he got his wish. His life was taken. What weakness could be so powerful as to coerce someone into committing murder? My guess is it was a matter of life or death. Care to explain? Your troupe lives in a world of showmanship. The flashier, the better. And flashy so often means danger, doesn't it? Let's make this as painless as possible. If you have proof of this danger, then show it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it would obviously be the gun.
Oh, yeah. Why, that's one of ours. I like to do Psyche Lock challenges without saving, ever. Specially designed for your show, I gather. Single bullet, one shot. What are you suggesting? We are magicians, Mr. Wright, not murderers. I'm not crying murderer, Mr. Valent. I'm crying something far more tragic. An accident. Zach and Valent, quick draw, shoot him. How long has it been since those shots were last heard? Was the shooting cancelled because someone might get hurt? Of course! What other reason could there be? Well, it would have been cancelled because someone had already been hurt. Fascinating. My fuss-stained forging friend. But tell me, what can you prove with a single pistol? Well, tell me what would happened if there had been an accident. What if one of your bullets took a life on stage? The performance of magic is not concerned with what-ifs. It is concerned with precision. Precisely whom do you claim we shot? Looks like I've chosen the right path. Let's just hope he walks it with me. A life was sacrificed so that the show might go on, and this shows who it was. Huh. Can I look in the diary, please? Okay. That was nothing. It's not proof. Oh, I'm so used to seeing the attorney's badge in my court record that it's really hard.
Go to the autopsy. Loss of blood from a bullet wound. That or declares that he had been shot but lived afterwards, to whereas he would bleed out.
A word, if I may. Yes? Does it excite you to know you stand in a critical moment in your quest? Yeah, it does, sort of. And you'd never make it on stage. You're not fit to be a magician. Give it up! I hadn't actually been considering that as a career option. Sure, you'll find something else to while away the time. Like figuring out who that bullet hit. A life was sacrificed so the show might go on, and this shows who it was. Hang on. No. If only I could present profiles. Wait a minute. Nope. I might have to save. I don't want to, but... Yeah, I'm doing it. You guys got any ideas? Hello?
No.
Okay.
Might as well do the.
I have a really
medical
crazy
report
one.
Below it.
I have a really crazy idea. What if it's a syringe? Like he's literally giving him a shot. I'm joking. I don't think that's it. I mean,
Nope.
that was like the craziest.
I'm literally
thing.
just gonna do everything, including this. No. I figured that wouldn't be it. And the other one definitely isn't it. Diary. God dang it. If it turns out to be none of these things, I'm gonna be so mad. It's none of them.
Did you try all of them?
Yep.
Well, no, you didn't say if I may.
Except the gun itself. Yep.
Stop.
I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork.
I have legs.
Wait, end search.
Defendant lobby number 2.
God, the frame rate is so low. Alright, 7 years ago, District Court. Defendant lobby number 2. Didn't think I'd be back here for a while. I didn't want to have to remember that day. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way. This trial is over. Oh, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack? There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Mr. Enigmar! I get the pun now.
What pun?
It's
There was a pun?
not Shady Enigmar, it's Shady Enigmar. He's a shady enigma.
Ah.
The defendant escaped. Find him, quick! Bailiff, close all exit from the building. On the double! He must not be allowed to escape. We just saw that. When I came here on that fateful morning, I still had my badge, but now, like an amputated limb, I can still feel it itching. Where do I start? I don't even have the authority to investigate. Hey, you there, sir! Down on the hands! Floor in your head! Now!
Oh my gosh.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks.
What's the big idea? My ears! No unauthorized personnel aren't allowed in here. But that would make all unauthorized personnel are allowed. Zwah!
Zoinks?
I just say it like it is, sir, and it's usually wrong. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet.
Serves you right.
We've met before, haven't we? On a case 2 years ago. No recollection of that, sir. Huh? Working on a case is always in the present progressive tense, sir. There is no past, there is only now, sir. Okay, you're the bailiff, right? Yes, sir. Court bailiff Mike Meekins at your service, sir. I've asked to meet with the bailiff at this court who let the magician escape. Let me try to make this as absolutely clear as possible for you, sir. It was me, sir.
Oh my goodness.
You were a regular police officer once, right? Sometimes bad things happen to good people, sir. Something tells me it's a long story. Let's not go there. So you were in charge of the security at the time of the vanishing. I'm dying over here. Oh, it's a hard knock life, sir. Thrown out of the precinct, lost my friends, my girl, and even my wallet. Guess I wasn't the only victim. The last time we met, you were a police officer, right? In fact, you're still wearing your uniform. Sir, I wish I didn't have to tell you this, but last year tragically struck a rising star at the precinct, sir. I lost my case files 4 times. In 3 days, they fired me. It takes real talent, actually. They don't know what they're missing. So here I am, sir, forced to start from square one, a lowly bailiff. But your uniform... I took it with me as a souvenir that day I was fired. That can't be legal. So you were the one who let the magician get away that day? I'm dying over here. A star rises among the court bailiffs, full of hope. There, tragedy strikes. Is there anything you can tell me about it? About Zach Gramery's disappearance? Oh, the committee! That's enough of that.
Now push it more.
Well, yes, I'd say it was around 2 o'clock p.m. when I heard a commotion in court. I opened the door to see what might be as the door slams open, and some guy's face is right there in front of me. Face! So you saw someone suspicious.
Maybe try to do his voice.
Coming your way.
But...
Yes, and I, being the bailiff of Little Standing, I gave chase. You want to try it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I gave chase to that slick hat all the way down to the hall, sir!
Nice. I have a diagram of the court building here.
Aha! There's a courtroom number 7! That's where I was, sir!
Oh my god, this guy.
All by myself! Nary in the friend to call my own!
Okay, and which way did Zach Gramery run after bursting through the courtroom door?
He went up like this and around the corner like that! So I was sorry. I ran after him, no delay! When I went to turn the corner, I saw that the magic man ran into the defense lobby! I swiftly ran after him! Following him, I threw myself bodily into the room. Why, I remember it's like I was right there because I was! Lobby number 2, sir!
You ran into this room? I don't see any place to hide in here. Maybe under the couch?
I believe it or not, sir, I did not believe it. Here in this room, the magician gone vanished like a puff of smoke. Okay, let's see if I can yell. Exactly there! He was in. Okay, exactly there. It wasn't even there any smoke. He was just gone. Sorry, I'm stumbling upon myself.
That's impossible.
Yes, that word! Oh my, many times I have said that word. Even the sound of it causes me indescribable pain. I'm dying over here!
Okay, I won't say it again, promise. But you have to admit, they're difficult to vanish into thin air. Did you search the lobby?
I searched!
Why the pause?
There is nothing here at all, sir! That's right, nothing here, sir!
You know what? You do his voice pretty dang well. How can you talk so loud and still be hiding something? So Zach was in the room when he vanished.
Absolutely, sir! I saw him with my own eyes! Eyes! That red scarf had the flowing cape! He ran right in here! Right inside the room!
Oh my god. Silk hat, cape. That's Zach, alright.
But sir, look at the room! To hide! Oh, sorry, there's not a single place to hide! Sir, there was nothing I could do, but nothing, sir!
What about now? Have any ideas?
Sir! About ideas about what exactly, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
Psyche locks? You've had quite a bit of time since then. Has nothing occurred to you at all? Do you have any idea what trick he might have used to disappear like that? Called it! Okay, this one's only 2 this time. Psyche locks! I should have known. Disappearing trick. Oh, I still have my lost health bar. Okay, Mr. Meekins. What do you know? Spit it out.
Hey, who? What's with the, not atmosphere in here all of a sudden?
You know something, and I'm going to find out what. Zach Gramery vanished from this room. How'd he do it?
How? Who, sir? Well, sir, I can't say sir.
Why are you so nervous if you aren't hiding something?
Well, sir, I see you at the time, sir. I was here and listen. It was impossible. What could? Sorry, my computer turned off because I didn't rub it. A little girl possibly do anyway.
It was Trucy. What did you just say?
Nah, sir, I just said something, sir.
No, you screamed it through the megaphone of yours. There was someone else in the room, wasn't there?
Sir, I was going to have to invoke my right to remain in the state of not talking!
It's okay,
Even though I'm
Meekins.
talking!
It's okay, Meekins. You don't have to tell me who Zach's accomplice was. I know who was here in this room that day. Trucy Enigma.
I've never seen that girl until the other day!
Mr. Meekins, I'm not buying it.
Sir!
That was
Sir,
a quick
that day-
break. Go ahead.
She was here in the room, sir. But she wasn't!
You mean you chased her into this room, not him?
Sir, in that day, as a police officer, literally days, I've learned thing or two. Wouldn't it be things or two? Okay, one thing, but how not to mistake a girl for a 7-foot tall magician?
7 feet? Dak isn't that tall, is he? You have a point. I find it hard to imagine that anyone would mistake a little girl for Zach Grammary. But you saw something, and therein lies the trick. I think you know what it was, Mr. Meekins. Tell me, does this trick look familiar? Alright, what do you guys think?
Sorry, I'm stumbling so much. I always do that when I'm reading out loud. So. Oh my God, this guy's like.
What do you think?
I'm
not sure, actually.
I don't think we have it.
I don't think we have it. Forgot. You know what? How would he confuse her? So there must be some more evidence that we.
I'm looking this up. I hate to do that, but I have to.
That's fine. I was gonna meant to like make it my voice a little deeper, but that works. It works just fine.
Oh, that's way too far now.
I'm gonna temporarily mute myself so I can get some popcorn.
Oh, okay.
Be amazing, Mr. Hat.
I may not have enough evidence right now to pull this off. Maybe it's time to do a little more legwork. I know where to go. And search.
That position.
7 years ago, Wright and Cola offices. You're up, Nina.
She went, so.
Oh, she left?
Morning, Dad.
She left?
Yep, she left. Ooh, morning, Daddy. She said she had to be back sometime soon. So.
Okay.
As of right now.
I'll do her. I'll do her because I do her in the future.
Okay.
In the other ones. All right. Hang on, just.
Let me just say something.
No, stop.
Ooh, morning, Daddy.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
Ha 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 ha! I'm fine as always. This old boy is here to help me after all. That's young man to you.
Good morning. That's
a cute outfit you have on. I made the same mistake that Nina made. Dang.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all.
2 weeks had passed since then. I called her into my office. Trucy, there's something we need to talk about. It's been 2 weeks since your father disappeared. We need to start thinking about your future. I did some calling around. This is hard to say, but you have no living relatives. So, I was wondering if you wanted to stay with me for a while. Just until your daddy comes home. It won't be long. I hope. Of course, it's totally your choice. If you don't like it here, you can go wherever you'd like. I could look up some places you might like to stay at. This is so weird.
Mr. Attorney, Daddy told me about you. He said I could trust you.
Huh? Really?
So, if I stay here, does that mean you'll be my family?
Huh? I guess so. Getting weirder.
Mr. Attorney?
Or actually, why don't you just call me Nick? Or you can call me Daddy if you'd like. It doesn't have to be today. Or anything.
Okay, say, Daddy?
That was quick. Yes?
If I move here, I'll have to switch schools, right? And I was thinking, I haven't paid for lunches at my last school for a year! So thanks, Daddy! Oh, in this office, it's a little blah. A little color goes a long way, you know. Oh, and Daddy? You got fired from work, right? Don't you worry one bit. I'll work twice as hard. We'll make it through this.
Trucy, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 8. But don't let appearances deceive you. I'm a young professional. Stick with me and you'll do just fine, Daddy.
Thanks. Why does it feel like she's already in charge?
So, Daddy, you got fired from being a lawyer, right?
You could at least kind of look aside or something when you say that. It's actually kind of hard for me, for Daddy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. Wait, is that foolish pride? My other daddy always used to talk about that.
Actually, that's pretty accurate.
So here's my idea. We'll make a new office. Law just seems so stiff, doesn't it? And no one will be my friend at school that way.
Oh, that won't do, I guess. I just don't know much about anything other than law. Or even much about law, if you were to ask some people.
Maybe the problem is calling it an office. We should call it an agency instead.
You mean, like a talent agency? Forgive me for asking, but doesn't that require talent?
You got me, don't you? You got me, don't you? I'm a professional.
A professional?
Yep. After all, I am directly descended from the famous Zach Grammarly.
Directly descended? He's your father.
Oh! And now I'm directly descended from the famous Phoenix Wright, too!
I think an 8-year-old just messaged my ego. Could you tell me a bit more about your daddy, Zach Grammarly?
Daddy? Sure thing, Daddy!
Which daddy was that again?
Daddy's so amazing! The biggest star of True Grammarly, and they're big!
The Grammarys. They were on television a lot. Haven't seen them on much recently, come to think of it.
Big magic happens when you put Zach and Valiant Grammarly together, you know! Once they made a giant waterfall, right there on the stage, and this giant trout swam up the giant waterfall.
Let me guess, there was a giant fisherman waiting for him at the top.
I wish I... What the? Could have seen more of Daddy's magic.
I shouldn't have brought it up so soon.
I wonder what'll happen to me with Daddy and Mommy both gone.
Mommy? Yeah, what about Mommy? And I haven't heard anything about Trucy's mother.
But I have my magic! And a great Daddy, even if he is unemployed.
Why'd I hear myself for a moment?
Okay, I'm back.
Do you want to do Trucy, please? I'm begging you.
Sure, what happened?
We tried doing a psyche lock on Mike Meekins, but it didn't work. We didn't have enough evidence. So
I just quoted to a number!
So, Trucy, so Phoenix and Trucy, Phoenix has just adopted Trucy, is what's happened.
Oh, that's cute!
Yeah, we already knew that she was adopted, but...
Okay, did you just say kid or cute?
That's so cute!
Okay, clarifying.
Alright, this is you.
Okay. You know, I think things are gonna be okay!
I wonder if she'll talk about her mother. So, Trucy, you're a professional.
Yes! It's like the thing they say. Baby frogs grow up to be frogs.
They say that?
I always thought it was funny, though.
What was?
Aren't baby frogs called tadpoles? Maybe they thought it would be easier to understand that way for kids. How stupid.
Right, so in conclusion, you're a professional magician, Trucy.
That's right. Well, wanna see a trick?
You're going to do a magic trick?
Can you show me?
Actually,
Why
I would
not?
like to see your trick. The future of the agency depends on it after all. Oh yeah, they're turning the Wright and Cola offices into a talent agency as well.
That's the spirit. Ready? Here goes. Ta-da!
Hey folks, it's Mr. Hat. I gotta say it's good to be seen.
Wait a second.
Yarg!
Wait, Liam. Did
Yeah?
we decide that I would voice Mr. Hat?
Oh yeah, we kind of
Okay.
did. Sorry, Nina.
That's all chill.
Whoa, that was startling.
The amazing Mr. Hat. I can't see the rest. Isn't he great?
Your friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat at your service.
He certainly makes an impression.
Doesn't he? I'm so glad you like him, Daddy.
Though my routines do get a bit heady at times.
Oh, I just realized.
Get it?
She moves her elbow slightly whenever Mr. Hat talks. That's how she's controlling him.
Yep.
You didn't notice that?
My friendly neighborhood Mr. Hat nearly gave me a heart attack. Oh, she also looks to the side a little bit. Alright, before we talk...
That's how he got confused because of Mr. Hattie. Or...
Mr. Hat.
Before we talk more to Trucy, I want to go back here.
Mr. Minkins! I'll be right back.
I was just confused!
The disappearing trick.
Oh, you have to start all over again.
Yeah. Okay,
Do you want me
Mr.
to
Minkins.
reread the lines?
You know what? No, I'll just skip through them, since I can.
Yeah. Plus, let's just save.
Trucy Enigma! Tell me, does this trick look familiar? Sorry.
What's that?
That girl's favorite trick, the amazing Mr. Hat, because she hadn't created her magic panties yet. She used it in her show down at the Wonder Bar. I'm not kidding about the magic panties thing though.
I know, I saw that.
She used it at her shows down at the Wonder Bar.
I missed something then.
You have to be telling the Wonder Bar. Sorry,
Have you been to the Wonder Bar?
Sorry. So, it wasn't a walking dream, was it, sir?
Come again?
That night on stage, I saw a vision, except it wasn't a vision. It was a hat. Sorry, sometimes it pauses, so I get locked. And so I have to wait for the thing to update read.
That happens to me too.
I got my health bar back!
The vanishing trick.
God, my frames are going down.
I remember it clearly, though the details are still a little vague.
Hang on, before we go any further with this, I'm gonna actually restart the game.
Shoot, my computer's running low on power. I need to go quickly grab the power cord. I'll be right back.
That works well.
And actually leave the call, reset the call as well. I'll be right back. Just a moment though.
Could people see the, Sokka death stare? Like the Sokka. Could people see the, Discord thing on...
No. Not on the stream, no.
Okay.
Just... Hopefully this fixes the frame rate issues.
Time for just Moomy.
Capcom!
This is a fun game.
Yeah. Maybe you
Oh,
could
I know,
join.
I've got to load from Stave.
Maybe we could have 5 people for dual
Elliot?
best.
Elliot? Oh, he left, yeah. I'll do this for now then. I remember it clearly, though the details are a little vague. Zach Gregory existed in the courtroom. I have Jason Gordon in the corner room, sir. Zach Gregory, don't even think you can escape me, games! I forgot to raise the price's priority on this movie.
Go to details. You are changing it to the picture of the giant cheeseburger on our screen. Please.
Gregory, don't even think about it. I already read that. Down your hands, floor on your head.
Back.
Me too. Down on your hands. One. That's me too.
Hello?
Hello?
Something the matter, mister?
No, that's it. Sir, I'm correct chasing a suspect, sir. Oh, sorry, currently. That's Gaiman. Do you know him?
Zach Grammary.
Zach Grammary. Do you know him?
Oh, I love Zach Grammary. His magic is the best. I'm his biggest fan.
And his dog. But don't say that first, okay?
Details.
I see. That's why you're wearing the costume you're wearing. Always. That was very the same. Sorry, That very same came down into this room. Or Zach came down into this room.
But no one's been here except me.
But he was to be in here somewhere.
But he has to be in here somewhere.
Yeah, sorry. I keep stumbling.
Under the sofa, in the trash can, behind the painting on
Okay.
In the ashtray.
I'm
In
so
the
terrible.
in the ashtray. So Trucy was his accomplice.
Imagine my astonishment, surprise when one week later, I was just happened to walk into a bar and see him.
Mr. Hat.
I couldn't believe my own eyes. For a while, I thought it had to be all a long dream.
A dream that lasted a week?
But it wasn't the magician who disappeared. It was Mr. Hat!
Though it seems complex, what really happened that day is quite simple. You were standing by the door, and out came Zack. But that wasn't all. Another person got in on the act, and she was standing in front, along with Mr. Hat.
I like how the hat's small and the thing.
Okay.
Ah! And that's the beautiful beauty of it all, isn't it?
So, while you are standing in shock and amazement, the magician rounds the corner, and most likely runs through the closest door into lobby number 1. That is where you come in. You turn the corner in rather lukewarm pursuit. And at that very moment, Truce number 2. What to do is tuck away the amazing Mr. Hat.
Sir, I only lost sight of him for a brief moment. The briefest. Then I saw that cape! Exactly! McGee's red cape! It fluttered like a cape! Astounding, sir! All my days of
Posing
Queries.
queries.
and making inquiries and chasing queries wasted! It was all if I could see them melting away like an ice cream cone left by the side of the road to die! To die! There are all these scattered remains of a messy eaten chocolate parfait.
I wonder if he's hungry.
Sweet sorrows.
I'm very
But I'm
hungry,
obsessed.
sir.
I'm sorry. I had no idea how much you'd suffered on account of this case.
It's an honor, sir.
To suffer?
I've been
I've apologized to people many, many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes even more than once!
But this is the first time anyone's ever apologized to me!
Actually, about that, I'm sort of her guardian now.
Is that so? Sir! You should know that I harbor no ill feelings whatsoever in my harbor!
Oh my god.
Okay.
I left defendant escape, that's the stone cold truth. Just another step in my way from singing the blues to wearing the blues. Someday, sir, I'll be snatching side by side with the great Detective Gumshoe!
I bet you will be snatching side by side.
It said standing, not snatching, for whatever.
Yeah, I thought I said R. Sorry.
Mr. Meekins, this is a free ticket to the show at the Wonder Bar, if you want.
It's an honor, sir! Sir, I can't count the number of things I've taken from me, sir. But no one's ever given me anything for free!
This guy has a sad life.
Right! I'll see you in the court next time then, sir!
I look forward to it. Oh, wait. Wait. He lost his badge.
Meekins, you took
All-
many things from me.
All eyes were on Zach Gramery that day in court until his mysterious disappearance. Now part of the mystery's been revealed, but the magician remains out of sight. It would be 7 years before I met him again.
I thought it said 70, and I'm like, that's significantly larger than the last time period I was given.
Alright, check.
Grammy's taking many things away from, and that's time. The
Are we
read.
allowed to go into the future yet?
It looks like you are.
Let's go to the Borscht Bowl Club.
Present day, Borscht Bowl Club.
Yeah, this is Borscht, not Borscht.
I'll be taking my leave now. Still have some work to do back at the office. Then I guess I'll go back to my piano. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. This frigid colony dungeon almost feels comfortable. Later then. Ah, Christoph Gavin. Clavier Gavin's older brother. And a convicted murderer. 2 hours left on my shift. Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight. Do you know who I am? No, but if you hum it, I can play it. Just kidding, I don't do requests. How about a different sort of request? You see, I play cards. Oh, a customer. I was hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. I seek a true competition. I've heard that Borscht Bowl Club is the place for this. Now I see the rumor is true. And this is? A friend of yours? Oh no!
Oh, yes. Ah, don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman.
He will not be playing tonight. When his business is finished, I shall send him home. But this competition will just be between us, no others. God, it's so obvious that that's Zach Grammary.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Zach Grammer.
He represents two artists, and I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, it's actually just a front for my real talent, which is playing poker. Don't ask me. I don't remember. But I'm good. Real good. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards.
You know, I wonder if this Zach's actually got the information for the innocent that got shot on accident.
Is this a seedy poker club? No, it's a restaurant. We don't play for high stakes. There's no money involved, but real players carry cash, and they're always thirsty. It's a handy source of income for the club owner. Then let's compete. I'll take you to the room. The hideout, yes, but before we go. Yes? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shady Smith.
Oh yeah, I'm Brushel. Spark Brushel, news reporter.
Oh, I'm... Phoenix Wright. Huh? You must always look a man in the eye. You still do not know who I am. Have we met? Ah! Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Mr. Enigmar! The defendant escaped. Find him, quick! Bailiff, close it. Or bailiff, close all exit from the building. On the double! We must not be allowed to escape. I don't want to see that any more times during this playthrough. You can't be, but you're... Zach Grammary? Yes, the reincarnation act of the century. Pity I have only an audience for one. You. Zach Grammary. This must be a bad dream. In a sense, this guy ruined my life. You there.
Wait.
Da?
Yeah, you can do that one.
We will play soon.
Freaking Russian.
We will play soon. Ready the room.
Da. I will be preparing the hideout for you.
Are you really him? The Zach Grammary? Now I'm Shady Smith. Remember this. How many years has it been now? 6? In exactly 3 days from now, it will be 7. I caused you much inconvenience, I fear. Yeah, you could say that. Is she well? Trucy, I mean? She's fine. I've got her working already. Hope you don't mind. I already need to express my gratitude, but you have it. This is why I've come. That, and to settle a matter of cards. By which you mean poker. Those eyes, he's serious. I despise losing above all else. And so, I've decided that I will win tonight, no matter what it takes. I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous. Everything's about the competition. All else is secondary. Perhaps we should take this time to talk before we play. I know you have much to ask me. And I, you. Maybe we should do this later. It's getting late.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting late.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave at 10. Duh.
Oh yeah.
Bah.
Technically, Olga was the first voice that I did.
Yeah, Olga Orly. The name of the Russian woman. That was Alex's first voice.
That was his first voice.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever the next witness is, I'm doing her. Oh.
You know, I was speaking way too fast.
You do a very good. You do
like
a
I said
very.
before. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, Alex, you do a very good Russian.
Yeah, he actually does.
I do very good Russian.
Just need to work on. You just need to work on the female part of it.
I only have bass voice.
Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. Has this been here the whole freaking time?
Yeah, basically.
Take care, continue testing, and best of luck in all of your future endeavors. Bye-bye!